Hi there, welcome to my views and news. Three news stories. Viewers. Firstly, an alarming incident happened today in Ethiopia. Uh, I would just say shame on those in power in Ethiopia. Shame on those who make big claims about the Ethiopian military. Second news story is about Ethiopian military presence in Somalia. It seems that Egyptian Eritrean efforts of kicking Ethiopian troops out of Somalia have failed now, officially, almost officially confirmed about how many Ethiopian troops will continue operating in Somalia. Thirdly, South Sudan, where Salva Kiir is not allowing anyone to meet with Riek Machar, deputy president of the country. Before these three news stories, before the start of these three news stories, let me make an announcement. After around 2 hours, I'll be back with this week's second live chat. At 1800 GMT, I'll be back with this week's second live chat. In last night's live chat, a viewer asked a question. He said, can Isas Afwerki, Eritrean president, be removed? How can he be removed? I said, I'll do a video on that. I worked on it today. I thought of speaking on this topic in tonight's live chat. So I'll speak in detail on that after 2 hours waiting for you. Looking forward to seeing you with your questions and comments. Now back to this video. Firstly, viewers, it seems that kidnapping for ransom is an offense which is totally acceptable by the Ethiopian government. If people are kidnapped by armed men, if ransom is demanded, if people are killed during kidnapping attempts by armed men, no, nothing wrong with that. That happens. Perhaps that has turned into a routine matter for a military which claims to be the most advanced military in Africa. Jula-led ENDF claims to be turning into a very strong military. If the strong military, strong police, strong regional forces cannot protect one area, only one area, one route, you can imagine how fragile, how weak they are, or they're complicit. What happened? Well, another incident happened in the same area today where dozens of incidents have happened in the last few years. Kidnapping for ransom incidents. I'm talking about North Shore zone of the Oromia region. Whenever passenger buses from Amhara try to enter Oromia, they pass through North Shore. Near Gohatsian, they are targeted. Armed men kidnap people, then ransom is demanded. Over 2 weeks ago, you know that 50 people were kidnapped. A bus was kidnapped carrying 50 people between Fiche, near Fiche. And then ransom was demanded. Around 2 million ransom, 2 million birr ransom for each passenger was demanded. People pointed fingers towards Ola. Ola denied involvement. Now relatives are collecting money, selling their valuables. They'll have to pay money. This is how the kidnappees, the abductees can be released. Second incident today. It happened near Gohatsian. Again, North Shore zone of the Oromia region. A bus was on its way from Bahirdar to Addis Ababa. When it entered Oromia region, North Shore, near Gohatsian, armed men opened fire at the bus. This time, they used their force to stop the bus, and while they opened fire at the bus, several passengers were injured and killed. Those who remained safe, they were kidnapped, taken into forests. Federal police arrived at the spot, but and there was brief exchange of gunfire between federal police and armed men, but the armed men managed to escape into the forest with abductees. Now, people shot on the spot, shot dead by these kidnappers, some injured. They're being transferred to hospitals, some in the custody of armed men. Now they will demand ransom. Shame on the security forces. Shame on the regional president of Somalia, of Oromia. He claims 2 days ago, he said that we have paid a price. We Oromos have won a victory. We should not let it be reversed. This is what he has achieved as a president. That in his region, in a particular zone, countless incidents of kidnapping for ransom have happened, and security forces under the command of regional government are helpless or implicit. In most cases, Amharas were targeted. If you cannot stop, you don't want to stop these incidents, it means that you are providing fuel, stimulus to Fano, to groups operating in Amhara. They would say, see, this is what is happening to Amharas, and Oromia government, Oromia forces are complicit. Why can't you secure a small area near Gohatsian? No. Why can't military be deployed here? Military deployed everywhere in Ethiopia, in Amhara to fight Fano, in Oromia to fight Ola, in Somalia as well. Why can't Ethiopian military be deployed in this area? By the way, when last time, 2 weeks ago, bus was kidnapped, statement did not share any news on that. No single report was made by, it wasn't aired by any Ethiopian state news source. This is the height of inhuman behavior which we are seeing. Let's see, security forces now say, they would say, okay, we're trying to secure the release of the people, nothing will happen, families will have to pay a ransom. By the way, where is Oromo Liberation Army? Whenever such incidents happen in North Shore, people accuse Oromo Liberation. Ola denies. If Ola is not involved, who is involved? At least Ola should tell the people. If Ola is not involved, which armed group? Ola should, I think, pinpoint the identity of the armed group if it is not involved in these kidnapping for ransom incidents. Secondly, viewers, South Sudan, where Riek Machar is not being allowed to meet with anyone. Salva Kiir put Riek Machar, deputy president, in house arrest almost a week ago. Threat of a civil war is looming over South Sudan. Ugandan president visited South Sudan 2 days ago. African Union panel of experts also visited. Raila Odinga visited too. He was not allowed to meet with Riek Machar. AU representatives were not allowed to meet with Riek Machar yesterday. They requested, but Salva Kiir said he's being investigated. Riek Machar is under investigation. So if no one is allowed to meet with Riek Machar, it means that Riek Machar, pro-Riek Machar armed groups and parties in South Sudan will just try to get him released by force through the use of violence. This is what will happen. Salva Kiir perhaps believes that he can crush Riek Machar group now. That is, he is backing of Uganda too. Yoweri Museveni visited Uganda. Ugandan forces, Yoweri Museveni visited South Sudan. Ugandan forces in South Sudan. I think Uganda should pressurize Salva Kiir. At least Museveni should meet with Reich Machar. Lastly, viewers, Ethiopia has managed to continue in Somalia, almost officially confirmed now by Mogadishu government. 2,500 Ethiopian troops will be part of the new peacekeeping mission in Somalia, which started at the start of this year. Ethiopia's second largest contributor. Uganda, the largest one, 4,500 soldiers. Egypt, 1,091 soldiers. Djibouti, 1,520 soldiers. Kenya, 1,410 soldiers. In total, 11,900 soldiers and civilian staff members will be part of the new peacekeeping mission in Somalia. Burundi has been kicked out of the mission. Burundi's forces played a key role, by the way. In hard times, Burundi soldiers were part of the mission, but Somalia adjusted Egypt and removed Burundi. Hassan Sheikh is in Kampala, Uganda, meeting with Yoweri Museveni. Hassan Sheikh might try to convince Uganda to decrease its share to allow Burundi's soldiers to. So far, uh, Mogadishu officials they're not confirming that Burundi will be part of the new regime. The way all the efforts by Egypt and Eritrea to push Ethiopia out of Somalia militarily have failed. Ethiopian troops now fighting on front lines in support of Somalia's forces to push Al-Shabaab's back from Mogadishu. And there are not just 2,500 soldiers in Somalia. More than that, there are Ethiopian soldiers, thousands of them, under bilateral agreements too in Somalia's regional states. Somalia's efforts to relocate Ethiopian troops from southwest and other states also did not succeed. Ethiopia refused to accept that. Then Al Shabaab's offensive towards Mogadishu made Somalia take Ethiopian support. Where will Egyptian troops be deployed? That remains to be seen. But Ethiopia has managed to retain its influence in Somalia. Thank you for watching.